Okay, this is good enough. Looks good enough here. Well, kind of. Okay. So this is over stuff for now, but I'm not too worried about it. Let me move my chat so I can actually talk to you guys here. If I can find where it's at. Alright, so get some music going here. Okay, so we got that going for us. Yeah, sorry, that's a lot of screens. Oh, yeah, timer. Good enough. Okay, so again, this was picked by Audio Garden. It is now complete. Alright, I don't know. Do you guys think I beat this spoiler-free? Do you consider it beaten spoiler-free? People were saying stuff in chat. There was some mechanics given to me and stuff like that. I wouldn't say the story and stuff like that was given to me. But I don't know. I would say that I did that pretty much spoiler-free. Not that it really matters. It more so matters in the context of the enjoyment of the game. But we'll say yes. Alright, music rating of the game. So I don't want to give a game 10 right out of the door. I know that might not necessarily be fair, but I feel like there might be better stuff, but this game had really solid music. I have to give it an 8 or a 9, really. I really wouldn't know what else to give it. It had very good music. I was humming with it half the time. I was like whistling it and everything else. It was great. So I'll say that was between like an 8 and a 9. It had some memorable tracks and things like that, and it really kept me immersed. So I'll go with an 8 for now. Alright, so graphics were pretty good for when the game came out. I mean, the game looked beautiful. I was playing it on an emulator. It had some issues here and there. The character sprites looked really good. The portraits and stuff like that were really good as well. I might still be more of a fan of, like, it did have pixel art and stuff like that, but there was just, like, some things that the PlayStation does that I've never been, like, a huge fan of. But it did have very good aesthetics and things like that. Yeah, I couldn't even tell what guys were guys and girls were girls, so we'll give that a 7. Now, I feel like the story is kind of where this game faltered a little bit. For the first part of the game, in fact, for like the first significant part of the game, like BGG said, you're basically recruiting party members. It's like, oh, how do we get from point A to point B? Well, we have to recruit these party members so that they can do the one thing to remove us to point A to point B. And then all of a sudden you're fighting wars and everything else, but then the story really starts to pick up and stuff like that near the end. I don't really like how it ended. I don't feel like it was necessary to kill the characters unless they already knew that they were going to have a sequel. And that in and of itself, knowing that they're going to have a sequel, is a problem for me. I don't like that if they already knew they were going to have a sequel, they kind of gave us like half a game in that regard. So it wasn't a terrible story. It was definitely enough to keep me intrigued. It tugged at my heartstrings here and there. They killed a freaking dragon, guys. They killed a freaking dragon. But there's been games that have so much better story, and there's going to be a lot more games that have good story. So I'll give that a 6. It was slightly above average, more than what some JRPGs have. Now, the mechanics of the game, the fighting system was awesome. The fact that attacks could go off at the same time, like your attack order and things like that could all happen at the same time. It was really cool. It was something interesting. the fact that you could equip runes, even though I didn't actually go through it most of the time, the fact that they kept their same weapon and you could upgrade their weapon. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that you pretty much had to start recruiting new party members to make your weapons grow any higher. And some of the party members that would make your weapons go higher, you were forced to basically collect every character up to that point. So it really became a struggle of, do I want to really progress and become strong, or do I just want to beat the game at this point? So the mechanics were solid. I do have some other preferences in my JRPGs with how the turn-based battle system is used, but overall it was at least an 8. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to actually give saying whether you have to grind or not. I kind of want to have a rating system that's understandable, that you guys will even know what I'm going to rate this at the end. It's going to be based on the necessity to grind. Did you have to grind in the game? I would say you really did not have to grind in Suikoden. There was other ways of getting money and things like that, and money was the most important thing in the game. Your levels were basically not important other than your HP value. You gained some stats here and there, but you gained more stats by upgrading your equipment and upgrading your weapons. So you could have gambled, you could have done other things in the game to get money, you could have sold all these items, you could have fought a couple battles and did things like that. I chose to grind a little bit to get equipment, but it wasn't necessary. So I would say, in the factor for it being important, we will give it a 2. The game really has a good system of keeping all of your characters that you're forced to have at an accurate level. But at the same time, it becomes kind of frustrating because they planned fights in the game to make that happen. Just in case you did not use that character at all up until that point, they wanted to make it so that the character was at the level they needed to be, which is good. It's great, but I would have rather just used the character I wanted to use rather than being forced to use a character. So I mean, we could just average these together, but like I said, because the grinding is a little bit different, and I might need to go change that value later, but as of right now, we're going to put it as, we could even say that a higher number is a better thing for grinding and a lower number is bad, but we can switch that around. But I would say altogether that I'd give Suikoden about a 6 or a 7. There was many aspects about this game that I like, and I'll tell you, more than anything, it has me excited to play Suikoden 2. More so than I ever have been before. So, it was a really, really fun game. And it was a really good game to start this challenge off with. And hopefully it'll look just great going on. I mean, Shining Force is supposed to be a great game, so I'm excited for that. Nakurdi's talked about it so much, and I'm really excited to give it a try. And we're switching to a tactics game, which is really cool. But yeah, I would say that it'd be like a 6.5 or 7, so I think that we're going to give it a 6, because I'm not going to round up. Alright, will I replay it? You know what, I probably won't. I might find a save file of the game that has all the characters and rebeat the final boss, or watch a YouTube video of the ending with all the characters, but I feel like the struggle to do everything correctly takes away from the enjoyment of the game. You almost have to follow a guide to do everything absolutely correctly, and if you're doing that, it's no fun, because you become way too overpowered. You get the characters that can upgrade all of your weapons, that give you special items, that give you runes that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. So, too much water? What? When did I say that? Anyway, I probably won't replay the game, but it does have very many replay values to it because of all the characters that you can get, especially if you don't get them the first time. So we are going to say that no. Alright guys, now this is the time where you guys give the rating to a game. For whatever reason, I thought I had it in here. I'll insert it later. I'll put it over here for now. But I want you guys to rate it as well, so I'm going to start a straw poll here. And we'll do an average of your guys' stuff. Okay? Wrong link, guys. Ignore that one. That's a different straw poll. You can answer that one if you want, but I apologize. I had two set up. They both work, but the other one's just a little bit better. I can actually watch it as it's going up and things like that. It's not a trap. Alright, so I don't know how many votes we're actually going to get. I'd say we look for about maybe 5 or 6 or so. I don't expect everybody to vote. But here, in case that one didn't work for you guys. I would say everybody's pretty much in agreement with what they're rating it anyway. Yeah, I would say we're going to go with the 7 on this one. We're not going to give it too much time here, and we want to get into the raffle. So I'm going to just put the number there for now, and that's the chat rating, and I'll fix this later. Alright, and now probably the moment you guys have all been waiting for. We're going to attempt to do the raffle here. So I'm going to get rid of this. And we will add that then. We'll keep this here for now. And we'll bring the Pontificator back up. Alright. Again, I'm pretty new to this, so bear with me. If Nightbot would load. All right. All right. For whatever reason, it's only showing that 2 people are here, which is not the case, so just let me refresh and hope this works. Alright, there we go. Now it shows you all are here. Alright. Alright, guys. So, start typing the word raffle. RAFFLE. Shouldn't matter how you type it, just as long as you type it. I will make a command that says it. But for now, everybody make sure you get in there, type Raffle. We'll give it a couple minutes. We'll give everybody the opportunity to get in. And hopefully it pops up on stream or either the Pontificator or chat for you guys to see. I'll give everybody the opportunity. Again, for anybody that's just popping in or anything like that came to see Suikoden, we just finished it. And we are doing a raffle to see who gets to pick the next game that I play. So if you're interested in picking a new JRPG, just type in the word raffle. You'll be eligible, just like everyone else, to win. Alright, let's see if we can find a good song to go in here while we do this. And I do appreciate everybody that stuck around this long. We'll add that to the list then. Bum, bum, bum. We'll give it till about 10:45, so another minute yet. And yes, that is the list that you have access to. Nightbot, you are not allowed to win. I'm not marking you eligible. No, you cannot win. Alright guys, I hope you're excited. I know I am. Can't wait to see who gets to pick. I hope you got your ideas ready, and if not, the list is there. We'll give it about 30 more seconds, and we'll let it rip. This is like the longest 30 seconds of my life. I'm like watching the clock. This is really silly. Alright! Here we go. Alright! There you go, man! You got it, Spleen. Saga Frontier. Wow, you had that one ready to go. Ready to go. Alright. Awesome. Awesome. Saga Frontier. That is a game I have actually played before. I did enjoy it. I think with that one, you almost have to play through with all the characters. That's something that we can, that's something we might need to discuss a little bit, because really, is it considered beating it without beating all the characters? Oops. Was picked by Spleen 22. Have I played it before? First time played? No. And I have finished it before. I really like this game. It's one of my favorites. Alright. Okay. So that's our next game. There you go. You won the first official raffle. The other games were picked prior. They were done in like these separate raffles. And we'll put our time. What was our time? You know what? We got 20, 24, 24. Alright guys, this is how it's going to be going forward. We are going to play the game, we are going to beat the game, and once we're done with the game, there is going to be a raffle, and you get the pick. Nakurdi's and Audio's choices are part of raffles that I had in the past that I didn't really get to provide anything with them for. So this is something that they kind of had and earned already in a separate event. So the rest going forward, they're going to be just like this. I needed games to start with as well without being able to start a raffle, because you can't just get a whole bunch of people in and be like, okay, I'm going to have a raffle, guys. Pick which game I'm going to play type of scenario. But yeah, thanks again so much for sticking around for so long. I'm going to find somebody to host, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's only the first game of many. We've got a long time to go, and if you didn't win this time, don't worry. There's a likelihood that all of you here are going to win 5 to 10 times. So there's plenty of games. So let me find somebody to host here, and I am going to go to bed because I'm actually really tired. Where did my Pontificator go? It disappeared. There it is. There you are, Pontificator. Alright. Where do I want to send you guys here?